So Islam didn't, this question, Islam didn't do like communism, restricting everything. Now you can't do anything. I've heard, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I've heard that in Cuba, if you steal a cow, then you can get executed because it's considered state property and everything belongs to the state, by the way. But so it's a crime against the state. It's like high treason or something. So Islam didn't do like communism, but it didn't do like capitalism. That you can do whatever you wish to do with it. If you wish to buy marijuana, if you wish to, well, do it, it's up to you. And all these restrictions that exist in the Western world, these restrictions are not correct. And I'm going to deal with it. Not correct according to their point of view, not according to our point of view. But I'm going to deal with it a little bit later on. The third question, distribution of wealth. And it refers a little bit to the second type of ownership. That how shall distribution and how shall the wealth be distributed? Once again, communism says distribution means ownership, and we don't like ownership. So once again, haram. You can't do that. Or if you're talking about distribution according to the needs of each and every individual, yes, they agree to that part. But you can't, start a factory. You can't run a factory. You can't do anything beyond your individual needs. Communism, the capitalism, or liberalism, it says, well, we are free people, and no one shall feel suppressed or oppressed or pushed into a specific direction by being given orders that your wealth has to be distributed in this or that way. So it's up to the individuals themselves. Earn money, work hard, earn money, and then you can have access to the wealth. And so the price, the money, it's the mechanism of distributing wealth in these societies. And we see that this is not correct. Because when we see that 5 or 10 or 15% of the world population owning at least 50% of the world wealth is, then there is something wrong, completely wrong. We see in the last financial crisis, we see that there are some billionaires that lost hundreds of millions during a few days. How can a person lose hundreds of millions of dollars during a few days? I mean, if I lose 10,000 kroner during a year, that's a catastrophe. But yet, yes, of course, they are not happy that they are losing, but they are not getting bankrupt. Because something is wrong with the distribution of wealth. Just we can do a little bit. So, why did I say that it's wrong according to their point of view to restrict one of these three issues in the capitalist world? Because since they believe in personal freedom, and this personal freedom, it requires and implies as well that you can do whatever you wish with your money. You can own in which way you prefer, and you can dispose of it in which way you like, and you can distribute it according to your own will and wish. So by imposing laws restricting ownership, let's say, well, you can't own drugs. And my question is, why isn't it allowed to own drugs? You will say, well, because it's harmful, dangerous to the society. According to whom? There are other things that are as well as harmful and dangerous to the society, and they are not restricted in any way. Alcohol, cigarettes, they are dangerous as well. And being naked is quite dangerous. In the summers, when the summer is too warm, there is a very strange thing occurs. The rape rate gets quite high. What's the connection between nudity and rape? Allah. Disposal of ownership. We see that there are some restrictions in the capitalist system of disposal. For instance, when you die, your heirs, you can't decide 100% what to do with your money. You can't give your son X, let's say 30% of your inheritance, and your son Y 70%, or the vice versa. I ask, why? Why is it that I am hindered, I am stopped, I am restricted from disposing of my money? I wish to give this son more than the other because he was a better son, or I wish to deprive both of them of the inheritance. I wish to give it to my neighbor because he was a very nice neighbor during the last 30 years that I lived on this earth, for instance. So you see that there are some contradictions. On the one hand, they say, do whatever you wish with your money. On the other hand, stop. We decide on your behalf. Number 3, distribution of wealth. The subprime crisis in America, it was caused partially due to the political wish of the American administration, regime, or whatsoever, to give the poor people the chance of owning their own homes. And in such way, laws were legislated and imposed in order to force the credit institutes and banks to give such subprime loans to the more or less poor people who couldn't afford normal loans. And this goes straight ahead against what you are teaching, what you are propagating for, which is freedom, personal freedom, the freedom of act how you wish to do. If you say that I have to act in a specific way, that's not freedom. That's imposing. That's forcing in a certain direction. And yet you see such phenomena existing in the Western world. So you see that though the theoretical response of capitalism to the 3 main issues of the economic system, yet it failed practically to implement each and every part of the theoretical solutions to those 3 areas. And now we can take a 5-minute pause and we will continue inshallah